Opponents suggest that money will always buy a referendum. Is that the case?
Again, I think, look, let's simply look at the history of referenda. That's not true. California had one on marriage, right? Whether or not they would allow same-sex marriage. And it went to referendum. Those supporting the change outspent those opposing the change, I think, by 10 to 1. And they literally spent billions. I mean, it was massive campaigns. And they didn't succeed. The people of California voted to keep marriage between a man and a woman. So, look, there was more money than any other referenda that I know of was spent on that particular campaign to try to change the public's mind. The public did not change their mind. They decided they wanted to keep marriage the way it was. So I think an argument that says, well, money buys a referenda simply ignores the facts. The facts show that money doesn't buy a referenda. Good arguments might, good debate might, carefully building your case might, but I think those are all positive things in a democratic country. I think that good debate, good arguments deserve to win the day, but I would say very clearly history shows money just simply isn't enough to give.
It's absolutely not the case that money will buy a referendum outcome. There are many, many instances where the side that spent the most money loses. It's not at all uncommon. So that's completely an incorrect statement. What is correct is that money plays a role. There is plenty of evidence that suggests that if you have money, you can get out your argument and reach the people that are open to that argument. You're going to get them to be more likely to vote and more likely to show up to the polls. So it's very clear that money helps you get your message out and helps you activate your supporters and can help you get more votes. But if you don't have an issue that people are receptive to, no matter how much money you spend, they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote in your way. So there's a limit to what money can do. People are sometimes uncomfortable with the notion that money plays a role in ballot proposition elections. And I think we should all be a little bit concerned about money. And in particular, we don't want it to play too much of a role. But at the same time, we have to recognize that money plays a role in representative democracy as well. There's really no form of democracy where money and campaigning doesn't play some sort of role. So that's just part of the system. That's part of the world that you get when you do democracy. People that have money who can get out their arguments are likely to find themselves a little more effective. So I don't think that's a problem that's unique to direct democracy. That's just part of democracy. I think the answer is just to manage it and to make sure that all sides get to get their views out in public, and so that the voters get to hear all the different sides and come to an informed decision when you vote.